All right. We're going to try and make something happen here. First off, I'm going to play this card to deploy all core reserves. So that's this piece. And for deploying German, just pull up the refresher here. Within German area, on a road hex valid supply head, at least 3 hexes away from a non-isolated Allied unit or Allied town or city, 2 hexes away if in a map edge hex. Okay, so I'm going to be using this hex. It's only 2 away. It's on a road. It's valid supply. Okay, that's the 2 hex part. That unit is deployed. Now, note, it's not activated. It was only deployed. Because now I'm going to turn and activate it. So that's my first 2 points, this impulse. Now I'm going to use the 7th Army card to activate 1 7th Army Corps. So I'm going to activate this corps. And then he's going to move across the river. He's going to move across the river. He's going to move across the river. And then I'm going to attack. So I have this whole corps on the other side of the river. Total combat strength there is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to 3. So it's 4 to 1 odds. My maximum draw is there's 5 non-bracketed pieces involved, plus 1 that's got more than 2 dots. So 6 is the maximum draw. You know what? Let's make it 7. Let's use this combat engineers. So playing this card will give me a 7th chip I can draw. So it'll become a large attack. Now, there is no improved position for me to knock off, which is fine. So I'm really playing this to get the extra chip draw. And if I draw combat engineer's chip, I could get a benefit off of that. So he does get to draw a card, which he's not going to... Oh, crap. That's not what we wanted. Not what we wanted at all. So this card is that chip, that unit. 12th Corps, 4th Division. 12th Corps, 4th Division. So that means we're going to check for an undetected defender. All right, let me find the rule on that. Where's that hiding? I want to find the verbiage for us. 13.2. If the formation on the command card drawn matches that of an in-communication defending unit and it has less than 4 steps, check for 1 undetected Allied defender. Check Allied units in the reserve box for eligibility. Our reserve box has the 4th. So there we go. The lowest numbered piece would be number 5 there. Okay. double check this verbiage. If the formation on the Allied command card, the formation is the 4th and the 10th. Matches that of an in communication defending unit. It is my opinion, especially if we read these next things, you know, a reserve or out of contact is eligible if in the division listed on a division command card. So the divisions. So what this means is, remember, we just covered if it has an S, that takes priority over the others. So we're really going to be taking a piece with an S on it. Lowest numbered is this 01. So out of the blue, there was an undetected tank division, armored division in that town we were not aware of. So that just made things dicey. We don't go to the combat tactic. He wouldn't have gotten engineers anyway. So now we might get our butt kicked. So the minimum draw is 4. We're not going to be moving him off that town. That town's going to be allies the rest of the game. So get this helmet out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the minimum draw. Defender is neither green nor elite. Defender is not out of supply. There's no improved position. There's no artillery. There's no air power. It is a large attack if I press forward, so I will. If I'm not mistaken, my draw max was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That piece makes 6. That card makes 7. So let's grab our next 3 pieces and cross our fingers. 1, 2, 3. It's not a flank attack because they're in a town. We certainly don't have 7 to 1 odds. They're in a broken town. That one does not apply. Attacker, green or elite, nope and nope. So after all of that, defender takes 1 hit, which is absorbed by the town, and that's that. So, okay. That was a failure. So 3 cards used. Let's replace them. That's it for our draw pile. Back down to the 7th Army card. There's what we drew. Was our last card. Draw pile's empty. Back to the Allied Impulse. It is the 18th. So we do an engineer's event. And first, it's going to do this roadblock check. We do not have any 8th Corps in the reserve box. We don't have anything in the reserve box that can deploy here. None of those pieces can deploy in this range of the map. It's only the 3rd Corps and the 8th Corps. We don't have any 3rd Corps on the board yet. So the next thing is going to be probably putting up a roadblock in another hex. All right, engineer event. Unoccupied road, hold value greater than 3 within 2 hexes of German unit in communication. Let's see. That is in German communication because it can trace a path like such. It's within 2 hexes. It's got a hold value of 3. I'm going to put a helmet there for a moment. See if there's any other candidates. It was not an occupied road. Oh, that's not a 3 though. That one. Okay. There's 2 3s. If there's more than one, highest hold value, then the westernmost. So even if that's valid, this is westernmost. So that one gets a roadblock. There. Okay, so that's the end of the Allied impulse. Back to German. We'll cover that next. I'm going to pause and go eat lunch. All right, we're back. Axis impulse. I'm going to activate LVII with this card. I'm going to move that stack over. For this piece, it would be a movement of 1, 2. It's broken. 3 on the road. This piece would be 1, 2, 3. The 4th is on the road. And this piece, 1, 2, 3. I'll leave that exposed because I'm not concerned about, well, hopefully I'm not going to become concerned about him driving the spike to cut me off. We're going to attack the 101st. I'm going to use a reinforced battle to bring this stack up here. That would cost them 1, 2, 3. All right. They're in a town. But at the moment they're surrounded. So if we drew a card that would deploy an undetected defender, that would not happen because you don't deploy any pieces where they would be surrounded. They may, however, draw a combat tactic. Reinforced battle. That won't happen either because a piece cannot reach them without going through Axis zone of controls, plus, could he even reach them? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, but he has to stop because he enters a zone of control. So nothing will reinforce that. Minimum draw is 2. Let's get that out of the way. I don't know what our odds are. It's probably not 6-1, but let's see. These are attacking across a river, so they're cut in half. So that's 10, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sorry, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's 17 to 3. 5 to 1, so too bad. No artillery. Nuts. The max draw is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because of elite, 10 because of a card. Let's go all out and draw 8 more chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chips go back in the bin. 5. 6, 7, 8. All right, those don't apply. It's greater than 4 to 1. That one was used. We're in woods. Oops. No artillery. It is 5 to 1. It's greater than 2 to 1. Okay. It's in the woods. Nope. That's too bad on the 6 to 1. It's greater than 4 to 1. And it's greater than 4 to 1. So we got favorite, whoops, hang on. 5 to 1, there we go. Not too bad. So defense-wise, the town absorbs 1, 4 more hits, and he's gone completely. So there's 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 defender hits. So no matter what, that piece is off the board into the eliminated box. I have to take 2 attacker hits, or I could take 1 hit and not advance. It's the end of the day. I'm going to have 1 more impulse. I'm just going to take 1 attacker hit and call it. Do I want to take a piece off the board? I'm going to remove a piece rather than weaken one of my elites. And then I'm going to disperse the rest. Nuts. No, I think what we'll do is weaken another piece. This one. We will flip over. All right, so we'll take that hit rather than eliminate the unit altogether, and then we disperse. Them, and them. Okay. Toss our chips aside. That ends the impulse. Allied impulse. Oh, goodness. All right. So back to that drawing board. So we already know that we can't, from last turn, we can't replace either of these now with a unit. So now we're going to be looking to place another roadblock. Let's get the old rules out again. VP hex, unoccupied road, hold value greater than or equal to 3 within 2 hexes of a supplied German unit in communication Let me look at my communication rule real quick. What I'm concerned about is if this hex here is valid because I don't have any zone of control. Communication. Communication may not be traced through enemy towns. That's not my town. I didn't take it. Or through hexes occupied by or in zone of control of enemy units. So that hex is going to be valid because they have communication because I don't have zone of control. But on the next day, more than likely, it will get removed because it will not be in allied communication because the dispersals will come off and I'll have zone of control. But it still could come into play, in what's left of this day. Let's check the rest of that. Highest hold value if there's more than one. So that 4 is valid. That's the spot. How about that? All right, so that ends up the Allied impulse. Okay, this will be our last impulse because we have 2 cards that add up to the 4 points. I could activate this core. All that would do is remove those dispersal markers. Then they couldn't do anything else. I can activate LXVI, which is what I'm going to do, and attack the 106 division. And yes, so for certain, we're activating this core. We will move him to here. We'll take this piece. We will break contact. That costs 1. Moving here is 2. Moving here is 3. And with this one, we'll advance into St. Vith. So it will be a flank attack. He will not benefit from a reinforcement or deployed piece. He will get a combat tactic. The odds there is 12. It's 4 to 1. And the max chip draw will be 3 plus 1 plus 1 will be 5. I could make it 6 if I use that card, or I could use this card to activate a unit elsewhere. Let me see what that would do for us. So once per day, I think every card has this, activate any one unit. You can play that one time in a calendar day. You can activate any one unit that's valid to be activated. Does not have to be in that corps. That unit can be activated. It cannot do combat though. So I sometimes will use that just to move a piece somewhere. So my thought is, do I want to try and move a single piece up here? Would that benefit me? Or even like that, I could move it to here. That way when they're next activated, I test that. It may go away. And if it does, I could advance that route. I like that. Because up here, if I move him here or here, I can do that anyway. There's no benefit. So yeah, let me do that right now before I forget. So I'm gonna use the, well, I have to resolve that combat, but this activate one unit. You know what? We're gonna wait until after combat. That might change my mind somehow. You never know. So we'll draw the allied card. That is not the 5th Corps. He pulled a reinforced battle. Again, nobody can get to him. You know, he cannot move there because he has to. This cannot move there because he has to stop in this hex. So no benefit. Minimum draw is 2. One, 2. Good so far. We have a flank attack, which qualifies. It's not a large attack, and there's no allied air power. So, him taking a hit, he would probably retreat one. He might test for hold. He might retreat one hex and flip. Do we risk pressing on? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 5. So let's draw 3 more. I've had these where they end up not getting harmed and I have to take a point. Uh-oh, defender. Ooh, oops, here it is. Defender green. So the defender is green. That's good. Whoops. Those 2 are used. Air power is not. Well, I don't know what order I drew these. We have an attacker, green. I have a green. That's the white dots. And then we have, it was 4 to 1. So I'm going to throw all the other chips back in the bucket because I drew a blue one. I think that was my last chip. And that's the 5. All right, so we have to take care of 3 defender hits. The second point, B, if hits is greater than steps, retreat 1 hex. Okay, he will not be able to avoid going into a, well, this will be in allied supply, that will be in allied supply. So we've got point 3 into an unoccupied hex in enemy zone of control that's in friendly supply. Remove a step from retreating unit. If more than one choice, he's going to end up going the way of the blue arrow. Okay. And it says remove a step. Okay. That took care of 1. He still has 2 to go. So now we have 2 hits compared to 1 step. He has to retreat again. So now he can go here or here. You know, there's multiple choices. He'll follow the blue arrow. That's his 2nd hit. Okay? And he has to disperse because he's retreated 2 hexes. He still has 1 more defender hit to take, which now means he has to flip and he's eliminated. So I knew that initially, but I thought we would step through the combat results. That's another 2nd unit. So that's another point. Now I'm at 10. Okay. And then we also had to take a attacker hit, which, yes, I'm going to take a hit against this piece with the 4 dots. And notice, whoops, he now has 3 dots, but he's now normal. He's no longer a green piece. Okay. And then I can advance. I'll just advance this piece forward. The 1, the tank could move 2. He could go 1, 2. We're going to do that with the tank. 1, 2. Okay. I went from here to here. Okay. We will call that successful. And then with my last card, I'm going to activate any 1 unit. I'm going to grab this armored and move it there. He then has to stop moving because he is next to a roadblock connected by a road. He may not attack. That's the last German impulse. We get 1 more allied. Okay. There's nothing that says special. We have a deploy 30th and 75th. And we have the 30th in the box. So we'll number these as 8, 9, and 10. And we go method A. All right. XVIII is from this line up. So German units proximate. We use the helmets. So it's positions I could potentially move to that aren't next to a current piece, not in danger of surround. This corps cannot go above that line. This piece could go move 3. He cannot get there. Not eligible. Not eligible. In danger of surround. We need to look at all right, back to the proximate rules. These get dicey. Proximate. A unit has sufficient movement points to reach the target in 1 move. I often need to check this because these dispersed pieces can't move right now. Let's look at the bigger rules on proximate. Give me a moment. All right. Unit is proximate to target hex. If unit has sufficient movement points to reach it one move. Proximate to a hex. Proximate to a unit. Movement restrictions imposed by terrain, enemy zone controls, roadblocks, army boundary lines, stacking limits, supply status. So, you have to consider the roadblock, supply. These are dispersed. So I'm going to consider that those cannot move. So I am not proximate to these hexes because they're dispersed and there's roadblocks up. So there's nothing in method A to deploy, so we're going to go to method B. We do not currently have this division on the board. So now we're going to find the best candidate hex, empty position in the core area, able to trace supply, within 3 hexes of unit in the same army. That's the dark green colors as opposed to the light green. And within 4 hexes of a German unit, regardless of zone of control, terrain, and so on. Not in danger of surround or in a German-held city. So we want to be within 3 hexes of unit of the same army, within 4 hexes of German unit. And within that, we're going to look for the highest hold value than westernmost. So within 3 of him, we could pick up this 3, that hex with a hold value of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is within 4 hexes of a German, 3 of the Allies. That's a hold value of 6. It's probably going to go there. We don't have any other hold values as strong as that quickly reaches that specification. So the first piece would go there. Okay. We've already tried method A. So the next piece goes to method B. Place unit in hex occupied by unit in the same division. These are all the same division. So this whole stack is actually going into Troy Pont. Okay, so that just became a powerful position that good luck ever taking that town. And that concludes, it's 30th and 75th. Is the 75th on the board even? No. So that's it. That's the end of the day. December 18th. All combat chips back to the cup. Remove all dispersed markers. We don't have any out of fuel to remove. Okay, so after 3 days, no progress to speak of here. We did, bust out in here a little bit. We got Allied starting to fill this in, so that's going to be tough goings. We made a small dent here, but we're not going to get far because we've got 3 armored divisions, 3 infantry divisions in towns, across rivers, in the forest. Our best opportunity, we don't know what's going to become of these roadblocks once we activate these, activate these guys. Yeah, so this is our best opportunity to hopefully keep pushing west. We did eliminate a piece here, so hopefully we can make some progress before that gets filled in with reinforcements. And this is going to be, these pieces are going to just sit and stare at each other the rest of the game. All right, so that's it for the 18th.